Hey guys, so today we're going to take a look at dilations. So dilations are sometimes also called shrinking or growing. So let's write that down. A dilation means either to shrink or to grow. And the rule that we use for that is ky. And what that means is we multiply x and y by the scale factor. So let's write that down as well. So before we actually get into our examples, let me show you how these rules work. So on our first problem, we're going to have a dilation of 1/4. So the rule for that would be 1/4 x, comma, 1/4 y. That means multiply all the numbers by 1/4. The second one, a dilation of 2.5, we would write that rule as 2.5x, comma, 2.5 y. That just means multiply the x and the y by 2.5. So let's look at example 1. So the first thing I want you to write in your notes is dilation of 1/4. So I need to figure out what I'm going to multiply all my numbers by. Well, since it's a fraction, either you have memorized that 1/4 is 0.25, or you can type in 1 divided by 4 in your calculator to get 0.25. So I'm going to multiply all of my points by 0.25. So let's take a look at C. So C is at 0, and I'm going to write these down. C is at 0, -1. You write these down as well. P is at 1, 2, 3, 4, +2, over 4 up 2. S is at 0, 2. And y is at -1, 2, 3, -3, -2. So to figure out where our dilated or our shrunken point or picture will be, we have to multiply every one of these numbers by 0.25. So for C prime, 0 times 0.25 is 0. -1 times 0.25 is -0.25. Now let's do P prime. For P prime, 4 times 0.25 is 1. And 2 times 0.25 is 0.5, or a half. Let's keep going. So again, all you do for dilations is you read the point and then multiply by the scale factor, which in this case is 1/4 or 0.25. So S prime is going to be 0 times 0.25 is 0. 2 times 0.25 is going to be half or 0.5. And then last but not least, let's do Y. So to find Y prime, -3 times 0.25 is going to be -0.75, and -2 times 0.25 is going to be -0.5, or -half. Okay, and I'm only going to graph this one so you can see what it looks like. So I just wanted to work through this one so you could see what this would look like if you did it on a graph. So 0, -0.25 is here. 1 up a half is here. 0 up 0.5 is here. And back 0.75 down 0.75 is going to be here. So you can see that I shrunk that picture. But my actual question says, what are the coordinates of P prime? So if this were on a test or a quiz, you would only have to focus on point P. So my coordinates for P prime are 1, 0.5. You could also write it as 1.5 as a fraction is 1/2. So let's take a look at the next example. So it says to do a dilation of 2.5. That means I'm going to read all my points. Oh, and it also said to find the coordinates of the image vertices. That means I have to do them all. So first, now that I know what to multiply by, I read my points. So D is back 1, down 1, so -1, -1. T is forward 1, up 1. And S is to the right 1, down 1. So now that I have read my points, I'm going to dilate them by 2.5. So D prime, -1 times 2.5 or 2.5 is -2.5. -1 times 2.5 is -2.5. Now let's find T prime. So 1 times 2.5, see I'm multiplying by my scale factor, is 2.5. 1 times 2.5 is 2.5. And now let's find S prime. 1 times 2.5 is 2.5. And -1 times 2.5 is -2.5. So I'm just going to graph this so you can see what it would look like. You don't have to do this on your paper, or you could do like a rough sketch of a smaller and then a bigger one. That would be good. So left 2.5, down 2.5 would be about here for D prime. T prime would be to the right 2.5, up 2.5. And then S prime would be to the right 2.5, down 2.5. So we can see when we multiply by a number that is bigger than 2, or I'm sorry, bigger than 1, it makes the picture grow. So now, guys, we're just going to focus on the points that the directions tell us to. So look at number 3. Number 3 says we're going to dilate by a scale factor of 2. And what are the image vertices? So it's nice that we don't have to read these points. We just multiply everything by 2. So let's do that. So for H prime, I'm going to get -2, -4. Just multiply everything by 2. That's what the rule says. So if I were going to write the rule, I would write this. That means multiply everything by 2. That's how you write a specific rule for dilation. Look at A prime. -2 times 2 is -4. 2 times 2 is 4. W prime. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. So those are all my new or my image vertices. Let's look at number 4. Now, I know because 1/2 is smaller than 1, I'm going to shrink. But because we're not plotting it, we really won't see it. So I'm going to do a dilation of 1/2. Remember, 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. So that's what I'm going to multiply by. And also, to write the rule would be 1/2 x, 1/2 y. That means multiply the x by half, multiply the y by half. And it only asks for x. So I will focus on this right here. So to get x prime, -3 times 0.5 is going to be -1.5. And 3 times 0.5, or half, is going to be 1.5. So the coordinates of x prime, because I multiplied everything by half, or 0.5, is -1/2, comma 1/2. I'm sorry, -1.5, comma 1.5, or 1.5. So now let's talk about how to go the other way. So if we multiply by the scale factor to get the dilated, the grown or the shrunk, to grow or shrink our picture, we divide to find the scale factor. And that'll help us to write our rule. Okay, so write that down. Divide to find the scale factor. So what do we divide? Well, typically we take the original and we multiply by the scale factor. So to find the scale factor, we take the original and divide it by where we end up. So let's pick a point. First we have to, so let's say L. I'm going to do L, use L and L prime. Ooh, I like P and P prime even better on this one, and I'll tell you why. Look right here. P is an exact point and P prime is an exact point. See how A prime, L prime, and J prime I have to estimate? So let's read those. So P is -1, 2, 3, 4, comma, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's read P prime. So I've got -1, +1. And it looks like I got smaller. So remember, we want the image over the pre-image. Okay, so let's do our x's. Okay, so my image is -1 over my pre-image, which is -4. So what does that reduce to? 1/4. Well, look, even if we do our y's, if we do the image, y, which is a 1, over the pre-image, or the starting point, which is a 4, we get the same thing. So our rule is going to be 1/4 times x, comma, 1/4 times y. So let's try that one more time. So on this one, again, I want to try to find exact points. It looks like all of these are exact points, so I'm just going to pick D. So here's D and here's D prime. So my pre-image D is to the right 2, up 2, so 2, 2. And D prime is to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, up 1, 2, 3, 4. And using these notes right here, I'm going to put, and let's do our x's. Let's do our image, or the one with the apostrophe, over the pre-image, which is 2. See, 4 over 2. What is 4 over 2? Well, that reduces to 2. Look, if I do my y's, I get the same thing. So, image over pre-image, which is 2, I still get 2. So my scale factor, so I dilate, I forgot to do words in the other one. I have a dilation of 2, so in my rule, it will be 2x times 2y. So over here, I'm sorry, this should be the algebraic rule, and with words, I would have a dilation of 1/4. So make sure that you've gotten all your notes down, because you can use your notes on your practice and on your quiz. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.